Hey folks, welcome back. What I did with the candy cane, we'll come back to the candy cane portion in a minute. What we need to do is round up the top of the boot, and that's real simple. What we're going to do is take a knife and go all the way around this thing and round this off. I'll do this portion first and then come back and do the bottom portion to match it. And you're just rounding it off. See how we have it started to round it up? You're going to turn around and turn it around if you can and do the bottom section of it. Now, the grain might be running a little differently on this, but that's okay. Kind of match that to your top cut that you have there. See how it breaks off? Just be careful. I'm just doing this because of the sake of time with the video here. Okay, so see how we're getting it rounded up? Now folks, I'm going to be painting this red when we're done, and white. You can leave it natural if you want. It's entirely up to you. I'm not going to tell you that's right or wrong. With this project, we're going to finish painting it. And getting the whole thing done here. And you want, when we paint, remember, as I said in the beginning, with a lot of my videos, if you've been following my channel at all for any period of time, get all this rough stuff off. Okay, see that rough stuff? That's got to come off. So just take a little bit longer knife. That's the advantage of having a longer, pointier knife. You can get into things a little better. And even this portion that looks smooth from the wood itself when it was cut, you just want to shave a little bit of that off. Okay? The whole thing. Now, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to take all this off here, and this, and the front. Okay. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just round the edge. Okay? Now some of you have a V tool. You can make fur in this if you like. I'm just going to leave it natural. That way, if I want to put somebody's name on it, I can do that for Christmas time. If you want to carve a name in there, that's perfectly fine. And I'm going to think maybe a day or so and see which one of my sister's grandchildren would be the recipient of this. Or if I'm selling it on eBay, I think I need to make a few things for her grandkids. They all wanted a little something from me as the wood carver to remember me by. So, and this is a nice way to do it. They're all in Canada, so okay. So we're going to trim all that up, just like you see there. All right. This boot is a very easy one-night project if you stick at it. If you stick it out and work on it. Okay, and then we're going to round the top off. Okay, I'm just going to round off the top here. Now what I'm going to do, when we go to paint this, I'm going to paint that like a grayish in between. Like that's the hole. Okay, so our boot's coming along pretty good here. Considering I had no pattern to go by, just kind of my own thinking here, and we want to make sure we take off anything that's going to give us a problem with painting. Okay, the front of that boot, you see it's a little rough. We're going to get rid of that. And you know what? I'm gonna make it smooth all the way around. The reason for that is because it hangs in the tree. You can probably see the bottom if it's up higher in the tree. So this will be a nice little project for a beginner. And if you're a beginner, please do not be discouraged if carving does not work out. In fact, I just did one on the tape, and I just could not figure something out on this one project I was working on. And it happens to all of us, seasoned carver or not, once in a great while, and it doesn't happen often that I have a project that just will not work for me. But that one, it definitely, I could not make heads or tails out of it, and I decided, the heck with it, I'll just start something on a simpler note again, like the boot here. And don't let it discourage you. You know, keep carving, keep at it. You know, you really only learn it by doing it and by practice, practice, practice. The same thing with doing anything else. I was thinking of maybe making a couple of notches here, like it's his heel here, just to give it a little more character. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put a stop cut, just like so. 1, 2, just like that. We can get that out. Whoops, there we go. Alright. Now we're going to just trim up to that. Okay? Just like that. See? And we're going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to use a little heavier knife here. There we go. That should have used that one on the first one. Sometimes these heavier knives can help you get into heavier stock. You know, just keep going back and forth until you get that notch out. You just hold it at a certain angle. There you go. Let's just trim that up a little bit. I'm going to just make that a little more distinct on the other side. We're just going to blend everything together. Okay. If you really want to make a heel, you can go all the way across it if you'd like. And in fact, I just may do that just for a little bit, something a little bit more to this carving. It adds a little something to it. Okay, just like that. See it? Okay, so that's all we're going to do with that. I'm going to trim that up a little bit so it's all nicely blended in together. Alright. Alright, and the other thing we're going to do is we're going to clean this up in the middle here. So that's going to be darker anyway because that's the top of the grain. And you'll notice when I do my Santas, the top part where the grain is all coming, the end part of the wood, it will get much darker. Okay, but since this is going in a tree, it's going to be red and white. And we'll be back in a little bit, folks. We're going to start on those canes on my next segment. Alright, we'll be right back.